The last year has been a challenging one, to say the least. A global pandemic, the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, the Israeli and the Palestinian conflict, football almost coming home but not quite, and revealing in the process a racist underbelly of the society in which we live in. Whoa. That's a whole lot, right? Yeah. Core Educational Trust created Core Lot, Leaders of Tomorrow, in response to the social and political issues going on in the world, as a way to allow the students to autonomize their emotions and feelings and directly channel it into changing the society in which we live in, therefore being a leader of tomorrow. With me, Fela Lufadeju, actor/mentor, at the helm of it. Today, I have with me Tasia Solon.
Hi.
A former student of the Jewellery Quarter, Jewellery Quarter Academy. So thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. You're doing great.
How does it feel? Obviously, I know that you've just left school. How does it feel as a Year 11 student to have left?
I was kind of upset to leave, considering we didn't spend that much time together due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I know that life has got a lot of things in store for me, so I'm ready.
Exactly. Oh, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful way of looking at it. I know the last year, and particularly to be in Year 11, when this pandemic has been going on, how did that feel for you? Because, this is Year 11, as they say, the combination of your secondary school career to do your GCSEs and to kind of try and navigate doing your GCSEs whilst there's a global pandemic and everything else that comes with it. How was that?
It was kind of stressful. I'm going to admit it was stressful.
Yeah.
But I think as long as we've all pushed ourselves to the very limit, then there's nothing else we can do.
Yeah, and would you say that you did that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. I felt like you did. And I know that it's been a lot to try and balance, but your ability to be able to still turn up in those moments, in those sessions that we had, this extracurricular lot that we've been doing. You turned up, you did all the tasks, you went above and beyond, creating poetry, so many other different sides of you. So how would you say your journey kind of arrived into coming into Core Lot? How did you get involved with it?
I remember we were in lockdown at the time and there was a new teacher and she was kind of introducing herself to us. And then a week later, she said to me, because I was a prefect at the time, she said to me, she was like, how would you feel to be a part of Core Leaders of Tomorrow? And then I asked her to explain to me what it was. And then when she explained, I was like, this is something that I want to do because I like sharing different aspects of myself, and I like to put on display what I've learned and what I want to teach other people. So I think Leaders of Tomorrow has really helped me do that and helped me build up my confidence as well.
Funny you should talk about confidence, because that's something that I know that over the past year or so, we've kind of struggled with to a certain degree, because you would come, and I remember the first conversation in which we had back in September, and you spoke about your love of psychology, the social and political issues that were going on in the world, and your desires and what you wanted to do. And at that point, you were head girl, right?
Yeah.
And now, well, you're no longer head girl. You had to pass your mantle on, but you were head girl. And you would write stuff and come back to me and we would discuss. And I saw this kind of lack of confidence to a certain degree. And I was just mesmerized because I couldn't believe there's somebody that has written such incredibly detailed work and had such a unique perspective and an articulated voice, had such little confidence. Where would you say that came from?
I think I've always been a bit unsure of myself, and I'm not really sure why. And back in September, if you told me I'd be here doing this, I would have absolutely said, no way, you're joking. But I thank Leaders of Tomorrow, it's kind of a blessing to me because before I never would have done this, but here I am sitting here doing it.
Exactly. This shows the journey that you've been on over the last year, kind of galvanizing and taking certain aspects, expressing yourself through poetry, through writing, having dialogue with yourself on the page, and conversations, intuitive instinct, the ability to be able to kind of bounce back and volley with somebody when you're having a conversation. And now, here we are. What would you say some of your other interests are?
I like to draw. I think drawing's really nice. I just love writing stories. That's all I do. I like to sing as well. So anything that involves writing or a pen, paper, that's what I like to do.
This is such an interesting fact about you that I remember when you told me, my mind was blown. So you have a twin.
Yeah.
You have a twin in which you and him are born on different days.
Yeah.
Right? So tell us about that.
It's very weird. We're born a month and a day apart.
Wow.
He's born April 14th and I'm born May 15th. He was very, yes, let's get out the womb. And I was very, no, I like to stay here.
Exactly. I got more time. To make.
I'd like to stay here.
So how does the celebration happen in your household?
We just celebrate them on
different days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So I guess maybe some twins will have to go through the kind of issues of like, oh, it's my birthday, but it's two of us on the same day. But you guys don't have that.
Yeah, we don't.
You seem to have your own really distinct identities because you obviously go to different schools as well. Yeah.
I think because we went to the same school during primary and everything, and I think like we each just wanted to be able to come home and share something with the other.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to the same school, it's nothing really to share, is there?
Exactly.
So we're going to different colleges as well.
Yeah.
And I think that has helped us become closer. Like, there's definitely helped us become closer because now when I go home to him, I have something to tell him.
Exactly, to talk about.
I have something to tell him.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. I know that you've got a speech for us to hear today, and I'm really excited to hear you deliver this speech. So if we could hear that, please.
Yeah. Why are men afraid of feminists? It's a loaded question. Most girls are taught that we should be slender and small. We should not take up space. We should be seen and not heard, and if we are seen, we should be pleasing to men. However, the only people we should be pleasing to is ourselves. I love men. I think men are cool, but we don't necessarily need them to survive. We need to help them understand that we are perfectly capable of doing things ourselves. Men are afraid of feminism, and when I say men, I do not mean all men, I mean most. They are afraid because to those in power, equality feels like oppression. The stereotype that women should stay in the kitchen, or constant oppressive jokes such as "go back to the kitchen" or "shut up, dishwasher," are not only sexist, but can easily be seen as a defense mechanism for men. To know the truth, you have to do more than ask, why are men afraid of feminism? You have to access their media, talk to them, listen to their podcasts. You'll hear the same refrains again and again, repeated almost verbatim. The wage gap is fake news. Rape culture is fake news. They learn how to gaslight early and well. Just as men who support feminism are raised to respect women, the men who fear the movement are taught to hate. They're not born disrespecting women. In fact, when you're young, the sex of a person doesn't matter to you. It's the way you were raised. Feminism isn't a movement to say women are superior. It fights patriarchal ideas which say that men who have emotions and express sadness are vulnerable, unattractive, and weak. Feminism is not here to dictate you. It's not prescriptive. It's not dogmatic. All it wants to do is give people a choice on what sports they want to participate in and whether or not they want to work. Feminism is an emancipatory theory of women and men. It recognizes our fragility and interdependence. Gender equality is not bad for men because it is an opportunity to liberate themselves. Statistically, men live 7 years less on average than women, which has to do with the mandate hegemonic masculinity. Gender equality is not an option, but the only desirable version of society. So back to the question on why are men afraid of feminism? There's no definitive explanation, but there is a definitive solution. Teach them early. Feminism is in your favor.
Tasia, wow. That was incredible. You are incredibly well read, obviously, to have created a speech like that. So talk to us about the process of creating that speech.
So when you said to me that I had to write a speech, I thought, okay, let me do on something that I'm very passionate about and that something that people don't necessarily understand. Because I think when it comes to feminism, the straightaway answer is, okay, you want women to be in power, men don't matter, but that's not what it is. And I just wrote the speech to explain.
Yeah, but Claire, like there's so much references there. There's like parts of the speech kind of like echo Chimamanda Ngozi, like clearly that you've gone away, and I don't know whether that's your day-to-day kind of viewpoint or you're incredibly well-read, but I was massively impressed by that. That's incredible speech and incredibly well delivered. So congrats. How does it feel to have done it?
I feel very accomplished.
Yes, and rightly so, because the comment, like you said at the beginning of this, like the person that you were in September when I first met you, who was head girl, but had, I don't know, a reservedness about her. I don't feel like you've lost that completely, but this inner confidence is really beginning to bloom because you seem more self-assured. You know what your skills are, your abilities, and that's beautiful to watch just arrive. It's glorious. So I know you have a love of poetry and expressing yourself through that medium.
Yeah.
In fact, you wrote a piece for us, or you emailed me a piece at 2 a.m. this morning. So it must have been like the creative floods opened and you and you were the vessel in which this creative piece came out. So we have it here on screen. So if you wouldn't mind sharing that with us, that would be amazing.
Venus and Mars. Venus loves Mars and she will forever. Venus was unfaithful and Mars let her. He was the god of war who brought brutal despair. She was goddess of love, even in her own undying affair. He loves her and holds her tight. Venus dies for Mars every single night. She's bright and bold, but only for so long, only to see her dear Mars for mere seconds and listen to his song. Just to say, I love you. Why does Venus do this? Yet her beloved Mars understands her even through a kiss. Maybe she's afraid of people leaving, of being alone. Maybe she can't survive without him. He's sort of become her zone. I don't blame her. Mars shines bright, just so Venus can remember to hold him tight.
Wow. Wow. That's gorgeous. So how did you go, like, what was the thought process? I know you created it at the early hours of the morning, but I know you said your love of the mythologies and how did you go about creating this?
So I'm really into Greek mythology, and then I was on YouTube, and then I was just kind of like listening to people talk about the stories because there's different versions of each story. And there was one YouTuber and she was talking about how Aphrodite had an affair with Ares, and I thought that's a very interesting concept. And so I was like, why don't I write a poem about this, because I really like Aphrodite. She's like my favorite goddess. She's my favorite goddess. And so I started writing, but to me, the word like Aries and Aphrodite, that didn't flow as well to me. So I decided to change it to their Roman names, which is Venus and Mars, because I don't know, it just sounds better to me.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you did, because this is stunning work. And like I said to you off camera, like this, I hope you carry on doing this, because this is expressing yourself in the way that you do. I see a bright future for you, like in writing. Like I predict, I've said it here and now. Let me be the first to predict that you will get published in some way. It's wonderful, wonderful. So what does the future look like for you now that you've left Jewellery Quarter Academy?
Yeah, so I'm going to go to Central St. Michael's Sixth Form.
Yes.
Doing psychology, sociology, and English lit.
Yes.
Because I was like, I have to do something with English, because I like reading, I like writing, so I have to do that. And then after that, I think it's just uni.
Yeah, yes. I can't wait to follow where you go on to and what you do, because undoubtedly it's going to be something great, because the way in which you string words together, express yourself on pages, it's powerful. And at this age, it's only going to grow and grow and grow and become brighter and brighter and brighter. So well done for that, well done for that. Thank you so much for joining us here today. As you can see, Tasia is incredibly gifted. This is only one of the many pieces that she's written over the course of the year. And it's been a pleasure for me to have been in the room while you created them or expressed them or read them to me. She's only one of many students who is also involved in the Core Leaders of Tomorrow. So be sure to check out the other videos as well. Thank you.